can just refer to that. This is a upper level English course. We're looking at Shakespeare, but not just his famous plays. We're looking at how they actually appeared on stage. And one of the big questions for today is, are plays meant to be read or seen? And the answer to that is that they are meant to be seen. So in response to that, we're looking at the actor's role in presenting Shakespearean theater. Something you will already have known is what presentational theater is. And that's unlike the things we do today where we can represent something through lighting or sound effects, lots of elaborate costumes. So presentational theater is the actor's role to convince the audience of the reality of the play. So those are some things you already know. Excuse me. Those are some things you already know. We will have just reviewed the fact that Shakespeare's actors didn't have a lot of costumes, they didn't have a lot of properties, there were no moving sets, maybe there was a throne. So those are the things we'll already know. And today, like I said, we're talking about the actor's role in that. So I'm going to need 4 volunteers to come on up here and help me out. So 4, I can pick them or you can come up. Good, okay? You 4, not you lead. You can come next. Okay, so while you guys are coming up, Shakespeare used 4 cast characters in his plays. He wrote about kings, he wrote about knights, he wrote about lovers, and he wrote about fools. And when we're reading plays, sometimes we can tell who those people are because they're called knight or they're called king. But when we see the plays, they're not wearing name tags telling people who they are. So it's really important for the audience, as soon as the actors enter the stage, to be able to tell who the character is, how they rank in society. So I'm going to have you guys grab something from my prop box over here, and you are going to walk across the front of our stage here as, yeah, no, you can have it, okay? Without saying anything, using your prop and the way that you carry yourself across the stage to communicate to the people whether you are a king, a knight, a lover, or a fool. So you guys need something too here. And anything that's falling out. So you can start over here, walk across the front of the room. Okay, you guys in the audience, I want you to try and decide if you can tell which character they are, based not on what they're saying, but how they carry themselves and the props they are using. So, go ahead. Any guesses?
Lover.
Lover, good. Okay, next one. It's all good. What is it?
That's a knight.
Perfect, okay. What do you think?
Fool.
Cool. All right, one more. Kind of like death with that hood up. What do you guys think? Sith Lord. Okay, so what were our 4 options again? Anybody? 4 character types?
King, knight,
Good. So which one are we missing? Okay. All right, thank you. I will take you guys' props. You guys can go sit down. I need 4 more volunteers to come on up and trade places. Anybody? All right, Kayla, we need you. No, we need you. All right. So like I said, props are limited. Costumes are limited. Oftentimes, you don't get to decide how you want to convey the king. So what I'm going to have you guys do, off in a corner back there so nobody can hear you, decide which of the 4 characters you will be. All right, your task here, now that I've removed their props, is to decide how they are effectively carrying themselves to demonstrate whether they are the king, the knight, the fool, or the lover. Okay? The actor's role in presentational theater is important because they have to present reality to the audience. Okay? They are the ones telling the audience that I am the king because I say so. You know, I'm the one with the crown, that means I'm the king. So we are going to see how effective they are in acting out their role simply by the way they carry themselves. You are not allowed to say anything. Okay? So come on up. You're just going to walk across the stage and we will do our best to decide who is acting well. All right, what do you guys think?
Cool.
How did you know he was a fool? What was he doing? He was being goofy. All right, lovely. Thank you. Next one. Okay, what was that? Lover. Why do you think the lover?
You couldn't see.
He's got other concerns in his mind.
Okay, yeah, he was off his face. Perfect, okay? sometimes we think of the lover, we think of a woman automatically, but all of these parts would have been played by men anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But what I want you guys to get from this is that the way people presented themselves on stage was not only important because it helped the audience know who, as a character, that person was, but it also placed them in the hierarchy, the social order. And the way you could demonstrate that, I'm going to need everybody to help me here. For instance, the king, he's going to want to be the highest, above all the other characters, because in the social rank, he is the highest. So I want everyone to stand up, okay? You're going to walk around with your hands up, holding your crown above your head, and making sure you are the tallest thing on stage, okay? So this is how a king might walk. Go ahead, give it a try. Kings don't just stand around, they got stuff to do. Good, okay. The king then will be closely followed by the knight, who is there to protect him, okay? So he's going to be not quite as high as the king, but very similar, very close. He's going to hold his spear or his sword up ready, ready to fight, okay? So this might be a knight. Give it a walk around. They got to follow the king. They also have stuff to do. Good. Okay. Now, lovers. Somebody said this earlier. They are totally off in space, okay? They're up in the clouds. They're maybe, not paying attention, maybe pining a little bit because their lover isn't there, okay? Give it a try. Love the space. Good. You guys are lovers. Perfect. Okay, and we had such an excellent example earlier of a fool, okay? They are the base. They are at the bottom of the social hierarchy. They're going to be closest to the ground. Okay, they're going to be doing crazy things. They're here for entertainment. That's what they're here for. Come on, I'm not the only fool in the room. Good, okay? They're moving around a lot because nobody thinks things that are stationary are funny. Good. Okay, so everybody can take your seats. So, as kind of preparation for where we're heading tomorrow, I want you to think about not only how the characters are walking and presenting themselves on stage, but also what they say. Okay, that's another way to tell who these characters are. So, in your journals, I want you to write 4 things. I want you to write a line you think the king might say, a line you think the knight might say, a line you think the lover might say, and a line you think the fool might say. Excuse me. Okay? And I don't want, I am a king, I'm a crazy fool, I'm so in love. Okay? Think about it. And then as your exit pass today, you're going to do one of the walks and deliver your line for me. Okay. Sorry, I've been sick today. It's hard to talk.
No, that's fine.
Okay. That's it.
Great.
I also have on that sheet, like, homework that I would assign them with some example answers. Just so you know. Now that you're all tired, take a moment.
All right, jump in with some feedback. Got some.
I really like that you had the audience engaged because I think that lowers the effective filter of students, acting like a fool around other students and kind of putting on that facade oh, I'm the king now. You know what I mean? It brings out that in your students so they feel more comfortable with each other and interacting in other types of situations too.
Yeah, I also like the steps you took. I really liked how you had the people come up and they have props and they also had an act that they put on, and the second time around they didn't have the props. And I really liked that because it ingrained it in my head. And then we went through it together as a class, so I thought all those steps you took were really helpful.
Thoughts?
Well, that was a very good lesson. Flowed very well.
Thank you.
I mean, you can see the objective, you can see the body, you can see the conclusion, you directed this very well.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and I just want to sit down. I've been feeling sick all day, so I may have been rushing a bit. But.
No, and that comes with time and experience.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is I think we all tend to be really focused on the time and the content that we need to cover, and so it's easy in teaching to become preoccupied with that, and you get anxious, and you start realizing you're not breathing, and that's something that comes with time. But again, great engagement right off the bat with people. I mean, you hit right away with the key points that you're going to establish and that you hope to have them learn by the time this is done, and then you get them involved in doing that right away, and that's key to it, especially micro teaching unit. So.
But the front loading was fantastic also. It really gave us context beforehand. And I think the other thing that is really cool is you could tell that you had enthusiasm for it. I think that's catching. I agree. And I actually, when you described it as an upper level class, I just felt like it had to. This, I think, could work with any level. I think that many struggle to find an area of concern beyond slow down, but I would like to hear them if you got them. But one that struck me is, this could be a potential nightmare for classroom management. Like in the wrong class, you might send people off into craziness, and I completely disagree with that. In other words, like that craziness is good. I think to the extent there would be management problems with settling people back down, you mitigate that by doing this in a time that, like you did, it brings you up to the end of the class, and you're giving them this exit ticket to come out. So I'm a believer in you got to introduce a little chaos at some point, because the more you do it, the more you can trust students to do it. They'll conform to your expectations, or you'll know you can't do it. So does anybody else have any other areas of concern? Because we heard only positive so far, except for.
I had just one thing, and I noticed it was really, really tiny. You were explaining something to all of us, but you had a group over in the corner doing
I thought
something
about that
else.
as I was doing it.
And I was like, but you're explaining something, and
Yeah.
it's kind of,
At the beginning, when you were explaining what we learned before and what we're learning today, like that was a little fast for me. I don't think my brain was like working yet, because it was just like, oh, we're starting. Like, so I missed that because I wasn't paying attention. But that's just me, and I know that's gonna happen. And you can only do so much. That was just something that I experienced.
Yeah, and I won't actually do that in the classroom.
Right,
I think
right.